right, so that was episode 3 and 4 of Wandavision. We got Danny and Morgan, creators of Ace Blade, Lumberjack, and they also have the Super Shorts podcast. They're here on the Bacchanal Podcast, and we're gonna, as intellectuals say, we're gonna unpack these 2 episodes of WandaVision, episode 3 and episode 4.
So we're just getting straight into spoilers, right? We're just talking about it. We're just having a great conversation.
Yeah, bro. If y'all ain't watched it by now, shame on you, bro.
We gave you time, man. We gave you time.
Yeah, man. Came out front.
Saturday if they haven't watched it by Saturday at least, I can't help you. I can't help you.
Yeah, that's a dub, cuz you just gotta eat that. Sorry.
So let's start off with episode 3. Akil, how did you feel about this one? How did you guys feel about episode 3?
I call that episode Descent into Madness, because like you started slowly seeing Wanda get crazier.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I thought the black guy was Mephisto, but the following episode showed us that he's a real person. Now, Agnes, her name's on the board, but there's no driver's license correlating to that, so she's not a real person. The other person that wasn't on the board was the blonde-haired girl from episode 2.
Yep.
He wasn't on Jamie Woo's board either. So I'm just like, either Mephisto, Nightmare. I'm trying to figure out who it is that's like trying to pull the strings, because even when Jimmy Woo was calling Wanda in the following episode, like the music was trying to like drown it out and keep her in that daze.
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the first 2. I appreciate the first 2, what they did, that was great, but I enjoyed this one so much more. The pacing was way better. I like the color coming back. Like, that was much more refreshing for my modern eyes, you know what I mean? And I like the way that they were using their powers, but things are spinning around, but the people who were under the hypnotize, like, they were just conducting everything like normal. Like, the charade doesn't even have to be, who's the charade for? You know what I mean? It's clearly for Vision. It's his vision that she's trying to cover and keep genuine, so she has a genuine relationship with him. Because the cast members, they're all kind of like, oh, okay, just don't. You remember when he put him on the back and made him run fast? It's like, let's just drive next time. You know, like, they were all cool with it. So I think it's very interesting and bold what they're doing with this show, and I'm enjoying it. It could be a little longer, we can get a little more, but it's another thing.
So you think, Akil, that it's Mephisto or some outside source that's doing it to her?
I think Agnes is what's her name? What's the name? Hargraves? What's that name?
Agnes.
Agnes, but they call
the
the characters. Yeah, I think it's her and Mephisto pulling strings, because episode 2 they said the devil's in the detail. They always make sure to mention the devil. On the 3rd episode, where he's like, he has a book about like parenting. You see Mephisto's on that book.
Oh, wow. See,
freeze frame it.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch, because I got caught in one, and I don't think Danny was on the other side of this, so I don't have to argue with him. But like, people in the first 2 episodes were bothering me, because I'm like, y'all act like y'all don't understand, y'all don't see what they're doing. Well, I think about it from a writer's mindset. So I got why they were starting there, and I got why it was going slow. But I know everybody was like, I know everybody's seen that meme now with Thanos face, and then Shaq's Thanos face once they get fed episode 4. Like, we all knew this was coming, at some point where it was going to actually turn up. They weren't going to have a whole season that worked slow like that. So like episode 3 had the most. I enjoyed the little tidbits, but I didn't really know. Like I said, I didn't grow up reading comics, so a lot of the stuff that I have picked up from the comics either came from the MCU or came from like Comics Explained or Variant or something like that, where I get background information. So like Sword, I had seen that somewhere before, but I don't have enough knowledge of it to like it didn't even click for me when I saw that helicopter. I knew the helicopter was important because it was in color, but I didn't connect the rest of it. So I love what Akil seeing the other, because usually I especially like I pay attention to details in movies and TV shows, because I want to be able to. I'm one of the type of people who wants to be ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I love that analysis though with Mephisto, because that would be, because of how freaking powerful he is. Like, that would be awesome, especially because we all know how big of a beast Scarlet Witch is too. So I love, the biggest thing I'm happy about is in the 4th episode, things finally getting to the point where it's like now everybody can be okay, now we, you know what I mean, like now everybody could be hyped about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the 4th episode was for the general audience to get them up to speed, so they're just like, all right, don't check out yet.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna go back to the sitcom format after that. Now that you're aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'll tell you what I don't know if I think this is what's going on, but I'll tell you what I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it's Wanda is doing this and she ends up being either the villain or like a power that they have. Either the force that is Mephisto or whoever it is, Nightmare, is working with her, or she's working with them to, you know, bring Vision back, because she wants Vision. Like I think somebody said, you know, she's had the most pain of anybody, you know, in the MCU. Discounting Thor. I think
she made a deal with the devil.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to be.
That would be fire.
Because she's so powerful that wasn't nobody that we've met yet will be able to stop her. Y'all heard Kevin Feige say she was going to kill Thanos. She was going to kill him.
Yeah.
No question about it.
And if he didn't
vulnerability are two
lives
things.
of his whole you know squad, he would have died at the hands of Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah,
so I would love to see her being something that we have to you know, that the new Avengers have to go up against, or you know, if that leads into, because I think it's supposed to lead into Doctor Strange, for Doctor Strange to have to go up against her, or whatever she does in this show be, you know, the force that Doctor Strange has to deal with, because we've seen him deal with.
That would go into what Akil's talking about with Mephisto, because I think what it is I think we know Wanda's doing it. And we know Wanda's doing it, and we know why she's doing it. And one of the ways you know is like when she had that when they tried to speak to her in episode 4, and she had that glimpse of her of the reality she knew that she was creating get hit a little bit. Then she saw Vision's dead face for a second, and then she winced and snapped it back. And he said it's going to be okay or whatever. And now he looked back normal again. So I think we know it's her, but I love Akil's angle of it being Mephisto. It's similar to what you're saying too, Danny. Like it could be Mephisto is trying to help or using her pain as his way into the world to, you know what I'm saying, to use her to his advantage, especially her pain. Because the thing that I'm really looking forward to, especially because I think, aren't we at a point now where they can start bringing in Deadsmen now? Didn't they get that deal done? Yeah. So to me, this is leading to House of M, because to me, that's of all of the things that I've heard done powerfully in comics. Because to me, like when I was growing up, I did watch X-Men, and Phoenix was the most powerful anything I'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But to hear Scarlet Witch literally just said no more mutants. You know what I'm saying? And 99% are gone. Yeah. That I ain't never heard nothing like that in comics. Period. Stuff. Yeah. That's like a whole nother level. That's when I knew she was a monster. If you could just have, and she ain't have no gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? It's no gauntlet. It's just me. I'm tired of y'all. Peace out. That's why I thought that crap was hilarious and scary at the same time when Rambo was there. And then she was like, she said something about Petro or something. What did you say? I said, no.
Yeah, that's a scary moment.
I was like, no. No, Petro gas, not gas.
Yeah, I said I need some petrol.
No, you need to leave.
I didn't. Please don't do this. Please don't do it. I didn't know what she was about to do, but I thought she was about to disappear her on the other side of the universe or something. I said, man, God, you messed up.
So the twins are in the comic books also, so that's a pretty big deal that they actually came to fruition through birth of magic. So that shows her power. That's incredible. And what I was saying before is like this much amount of power and this much of vulnerability that she has is like the perfect cocktail for, because not only were the cops seeing what's going on in the FBI and the sword, other entities are probably seeing what she's trying to do for herself, right? So I do think that they came in and they're trying to come through, and nosy neighbor, that's what they cast her as, is gonna be something very, very important to the show.
Let me interject real quick. At the end of Endgame, there was supposed to be an after credit scene where Vision's dead body gets dropped off at Wanda's house. Dark, very dark scene. So they took that out. But at the end of this episode, they're playing that Jimi Hendrix song.
Episode 4.
The lyrics of that song is about a puppet, like, moving somebody like a puppet, voodoo. So I believe it's a double entendre of Wanda basically using Vision's dead body and like regenerating it and moving that dead body around. And she's pulling the strings of that, but somebody's also pulling the strings of her, keeping her days and keeping these people, 3,000 people entrapped in her bubble.
Ignorance is bliss. That's what the nosy neighbor knows. That's
for
advantage.
I was gonna say, I was listening to y'all's last. I don't know if it was the last episode, but y'all was talking about Captain Marvel, I believe, and one of y'all was saying, that this has been such a long time since Marvel put anything out, but I think it's cool because I really think they have gone deep with this next phase of the MCU, like with the TV shows and the comics too, that they have really worked together to say, yo, what can we do to step it up? Because this whole 10 years of, Captain America, Iron Man, all the way to Endgame and Spider-Man, it was great. But I think they're trying to do some next level stuff with this next phase.
I agree, and I think that they learned from all their mistakes of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the other shows and stuff like that. Now what they just did to us is took all the, not even B characters, they took the C characters and they made them assemble. And we're all like engaged, like, oh man, what's this guy gonna do? Oh, he's like the agent. Oh, who's this? Darcy's in here? Okay. They're making them assemble now, like the Avengers. So this is phenomenal, man. What they're pulling off right here is it's bold television that I didn't think we would be seeing comic books like this, comic book TV shows, where these are the comics you buy, that's just like, oh, what's this? Wanda and Vision are married in a house, and you're just reading it, checking it out. This isn't like the big seller, like Onslaught coming or Magneto taking over and making a new planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a nice couple of reads, and they're actually putting this on TV. Yeah, they're killing it. I'm very happy.
I agree. I think that, like, it wasn't me and Danny. I think it was me and Javon. Me and somebody were arguing online because we've been talking about the Black Panther, Black Panther 2. And one of the biggest reasons that I'm not concerned about that movie is because of whose hands it's in. One, it's in Ryan Coogler's hands, staunchly. Two, it's in Marvel's hands. Yeah. They're not going to mess this up. I know that it sounds like and it looks wrong and all that type of stuff, but if there's anybody writing wise that we can count on, I have not been disappointed too many times when I've gone to see a Marvel movie, and I don't care what it was. More often than not, it was something that I went in with lesser expectations and ended up liking it more than I thought I would. So with Black Panther World. Nah, garbage.
Look,
don't go that far.
Nobody convinced me.
Nobody went into Thor: The Dark World. This was good.
They can't.
Bro.
I watched that and I was like, this was Star Trek. What the hell?
Yeah. Look, the only Thor movie that I really rock with like that is Ragnarok. But I'm also very highly driven by the quality of villain. I think to me a good villain drives the story better than a good protagonist. So if you give me a good villain, and I think Hela did a really good job in Ragnarok. So I think they did good with Thor's banter. They gave us the moment that we wanted with Hulk and Thor fighting. Like there was a lot of stuff to like in there, but to me, again, a good villain is what sells me. That's what gets me. That's why I was arguing with people about Age of Ultron and how great. Look, people put that joint where they want to, but Ultron is one of the best villains that they produce. So, in my opinion, but that also, like Akil was talking about Mephisto, like I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what's up with that because of how powerful he is. So I can't wait to see that.
I went back and watched Ultron, and it's actually a much better movie. Watching it now, knowing what they took from that movie to get where we are right now. At the time, it felt like things were too shoveled in, and maybe it might be. But when I watch it now, all the little callbacks that are in WandaVision that are in that movie, and what they did with the MCU after, it has its unfortunate place that it had to be.
Bruh, it really is. Like if you go back and look at how, but it's also something like, especially because of the way that I don't want to tie me and Danny in, but to the degree it kind of ties in because Marvel has given us not a script, but a vision of what it is like to drop tidbits and have it feed into other things. And that's one of the big goals that we have. Like there was so much. Like the first time that you hear the phrase "Endgame" is in Ultron. Yeah. The first time when you see Captain America budge the hammer is in Age of Ultron. Like there's so many little moments in that movie that end up being huge moments later. That it's insane. Not to mention Ultron's one-liners. I cannot think of a Marvel character that's had better one-liners than him. Not as a villain anyway. I can't think of one because Ultron was a boss.
Loki.
No.
Man, Loki came with the flames, man.
No. Loki is not. No.
I don't care what nobody say. Killmonger was still the reason. I'm
not saying Killmonger's not great. I'm just saying, like, to me, it's between Killmonger and Ultron for like. They're like the top three villains to me are Killmonger, Ultron, and Thanos. Only because Thanos, I don't think they wrote Thanos amazingly. I think they wrote some of the things that he did amazing, but I don't think his one-liners are definitely nowhere near Killmonger or Ultron. But Ultron just was so freaking, like, if you go back and watch that movie, Ultron had some boss lines.
Loki had the monologue in the first movie where with the shoe and the ant and the banter that he had with Scarlet Witch. Like, I thought
you got to have another podcast to debate who had the best one-liners, man. Because
I know
Ultron had some one-liners, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. But he was like a herpes virus or something. Like he just like they just keep knocking him out of there. Like they're like, get the hell out of here. You know, and he'd disappear for a little while, come back, and he'd be annoying. They just like, go away. You know.
Remember Captain America tried to choke out Ultron? He's like, you serious?
Yeah, he put him in a headlock.
Like, what are you doing, man?
What is this, bro? What is this?
Yeah. Let's get back to WandaVision.
Yes, back to Wanda. I wanted to say something real quick. In the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, they're claiming that Wanda is going to be the madness in that film. Because maybe what I'm thinking is maybe after Endgame, maybe she went with Doctor Strange as an apprentice for a while and trained with him. They're showing a lot of hexagons. If you go back and watch Doctor Strange, like the bookcases, everything's in hexagon. So maybe she got a hold of some type of demonic book and ended up
in the world. She got her power as is. She don't need no kind of wizard skills.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like some other entity is in there, keeping her in whatever trance that she's in.
Nosy neighbor, man.
It would have to be Mephisto, man. It would have to be Mephisto because Mephisto is stupid strong, bro. Like his powers are insane.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Mephisto as well.
It could be one of Doctor Strange's villains though, because if that's the case, then we've already seen Doctor Strange go up against Dormammu, and we know that there's other entities out there that can have that kind of power. So I'm down with all of that. I'm gonna be watching regardless.
So in the fourth episode, we finally got to see what happened after the snap that Hulk did. So we finally got did that get you guys? Were you guys thinking that was Rambo coming back, or was that the snap? Did you guys catch that initially? Because at first I was like, yo, this is how she comes back in a hospital setting. I was like, oh shit, the snap. And then
I caught it was a snap. I like that.
I love that they did that.
The first time we saw it was like a comical view from Far From Home, and to see the impact from
the basketball game. Yeah.
Point of view was better.
That crap was hilarious. But no, I think that's just another place to tip the hat. Like I don't even know if I realized that it was from Hulk's snap. I had no idea. I just was watching like, oh, okay. Well, I felt like I knew where they were going. I knew they were coming back, but I didn't think about from which snap. That's that's even more of a hats off. God dog.
Yeah, man, they put in work with this. They have so many things when
two women created what we have Peggy Carter, she created Shield, and now we have Maria Rambeau, she created Sword. So two women created the most powerful industries in the Marvel universe, Sword and Shield. So I was like, that's pretty dope. A black woman created Sword.
That's fire.
Yeah,
ran both of them, John. But something that somebody pointed out online, it was like, they were talking about how Captain Marvel, remember when she was going up against Thanos that she was angry. She, had all that fury in her eyes, when she was, and they were saying that it was connected to Maria Rambeau and her death, because you remember they said something about her dying of cancer or something like that. So
yeah,
I need to go back and research it though, because
if that's true.
Yeah. She did die 2 years later, so they're just like,
yeah, they don't know if she's in space right now, running sword up in space. That doctor don't know. She's just in a panic, like, oh yeah, she died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I'm enjoying the ride. Like this, usually I try to like peek ahead and see what's coming, but I was so pleasantly, like I was shocked at how much I actually enjoyed the first and second episode of WandaVision, because I was shocked because I didn't. Danny knows this about me. Like me watching old stuff is a definite huge no. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what it is. So like when they were showing WandaVision, I thought that crap was refreshing the way that they were doing it, and I loved like that they were only dropping it little by little. You know what I'm saying? So like at this point, I've just completely invested in the ride. I don't care what's coming next. I just want to see, I just want to see the next episode.
I gotta just say, I think the one of the main villains is gonna be the guy who's running Sword right now. If you notice, every character that we're meeting is very sympathetic and we kind of like them. They're more jokey. It's more sitcom-y, but that guy is kind of a dick, man. The way he like lets Rambo go to the thing and tap and it doesn't work. And then the guy who works at Shield is like, oh, you don't know this and that. You don't got the right card, like being an asshole too. And then the guy's like, oh, I'll come and help you. He watching the whole thing the whole time, let her go get rocked. And then he was calling his people, oh, my drones usually handle this. And he was being an asshole to the FBI agent. I can't remember his name right now. Like the Shield people are kind of like rubbing me the wrong way. Like it starts from management, it goes down. So I could see something happening there with Rambo and him as the antagonist in the real world.
He said he's the acting director. He's acting.
But he's trying to get rid of her. Like she just sat down. And he's like, oh, I got a job that you got to go do like right away. It's like, what?
He definitely could be, especially because they've already built some of that, like in the brief meeting that they did have.
Yeah.
He gave the nod to say, well, I'm acting because we know you should be, here or whatever. So I mean, it could be.
I think he has something to do with it, especially the fact that he knows what a Big Bang is, and like Wanda is basically the gems rebuilt. It's inside of her. All the gem powers, rewinding time, all that type of stuff is in her right now. So, like, I think he's trying to manipulate it from the outside in. He's trying to get in there and do something, or he's not a good guy. That's all I gotta say right now. I can sense it, man.
She's gonna kill the crap out of him. So
yeah, breaking through the fourth wall like she did Rambo, because she literally shot her through 4 walls.
That crap was awesome. Do you hear me?
That was crazy.
The moment that I'm telling you, the moment she said, "What did you say?" I was like, "Oh no." And
it went from 1970s style regular standard television to 1080p or 4K. Like the screen, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it went widescreen.
It expanded.
Yeah, man. When shit got tense, it expanded, and the video cameras they used weren't that like on the like 70s style cameras that they would have. It was actually like actual film that we'd watch now. They did some slick stuff, man, in this episode.
What do y'all think about the because I realized in the 4th episode when they're watching it on the cameras, they see some extra stuff that we don't like. So there was a part where they were seeing
Rambo reading the newspaper
in the when reading the newspaper that we didn't see in the first episodes, and then also they didn't see the stuff that we did see. So the stuff that like when Vision asked, there's something wrong here, that was edited out for them. And it was also edited out that that she pushed Rambo out through the wall. So like, what do you think about that? What do you think about them not being able?
It's like Wanda or whoever's controlling her is directing the show.
Something like that. Somebody got to be
their version of reality.
I think it's Wanda just trying to put her head under the covers, head in the sand again. Like she's trying to just keep herself in this place because she's in depression, and she's just like, you know what? Let me cut this and let's keep it moving.
Oh, All I know is Vision looked worried at the end of that episode. Though.
I love that. That was the best part to me. I like when Vision came with the purple dead face, and then after he went and put his hand around her, he was actually staring at us. If you look at the camera,
oh yeah,
he's looking at us like, help me. Like you could see him like, yo, what the hell's going on? Because all this is just to trick him. You know what I mean? So I'm very interested to see if he's gonna get out, and if he gets out, is he gonna still be alive? Like, because we saw Rambo get shot out, and her clothing still stayed 70s. You know what I mean?
I don't think I think the fact that I think we already saw that construct get shaken because she was looking at him normal as day, and I can't remember what it was that it shook her concentration, but when her concentration got shook, you saw Vision dead with the stone missing. So she's working really hard in some respects to hold her focus, because I don't think it was somebody else that, you see what I'm saying? Like, she was the one that was emotionally affected at that time period. So for us to have that breakdown at that moment, to me, it shows that it's Wanda that's doing that, and Vision might be aware of it in some way. But I know, like, I was just watching something last night where they were talking about in the comics, Wanda had created a reality with her and the twins and stuff, and Professor X was the one that had to come and say, "Hey, you know this isn't real. Cut it out." You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how far this is going to extend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how.
Professor X in this bad boy. It's a wrap for me.
Hey, I don't know if he's gonna come in here, but I'm just saying, I know in the comics she had created her own reality. The twins were there. I want to say it was Vision too, and Professor X is the one that was like, "Hey, you know you don't have these kids. You know this isn't real, whatever." And like, they didn't get into a fight. It was just like, over time she just kind of let it go. Yeah. But in this regard, if Akil's right, that Mephisto is involved, the power that guy that he has is insane. Yeah. So if he's involved, I think it's not. I'm not gonna say that he'll be the Thanos of this phase, but I don't think that would be a mistake that DC would make. I can't see Marvel having him just coming out. You know, you don't just drop Mephisto in. That's like when they brought in Doomsday. They brought in Doomsday immediately in DC, and I was like, you don't just bring in Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's got to have his lackeys first. You know,
you have to build up the Doomsday, man. You can't just drop Doomsday in there, and I don't think you could do it with Mephisto either.
I just want to talk about Rambo real quick and the genius of the storytelling that they do in this by defining the characters through actions. Like when she was in the hospital and she bumped the guy, and then he was on the floor. You think he would get him and be like, "Oh, damn, sorry, let me get you up. You okay?" She was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on?" You know, like, that was a very smart move of the writing to defy her character and her powers, her abilities. Because the comic book world, everybody on the internet's already saying, we know who she's going to be and who she is. Is she that right now? Because we saw her go flying through 4 walls, you know what I mean? And still, like, just kind of land and just be like, yo, little days. So maybe she has a little bit of abilities of some sort. I like the way that they did that with her character without saying it and putting it on the nose, that she is something above the regular human being in intelligence and army and military. You know what I mean? Like, so I do like the storytelling they did with her in this episode.
They had the Spectrum News thing that I saw up there. So they always putting heroes' names and stuff in it. Yep. So I saw today, like, one of the reports that they were reading was from Spectrum News. So
they also had Darcy Lewis's character, who played a big role in this episode. When she was finding the frequencies and she found the higher frequencies, it was called Spectrum on the little blue thing she was holding to. I don't know if you guys caught that one.
I most did not.
Yeah, they put so much little details on this. Too many.
Like I said, that crap is dope because I love little details. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch now so I can see what I missed. Because like I said, I feel like this about, like, when I went to go, because I'm a huge Jordan Peele fan. So I mean, when I went to go see Us initially, I was gonna take notes. I literally took notes the whole time I was watching, like, on, like, just how he was directing, what he was putting in there, stuff like that. With this, I literally was like, no, I don't even care. I just want to.
Me too. I see some things, and I want to take notes and look, but I'm like, the writers are doing this just to beat our asses because we fine-tooth combed all their old movies. So they're like, oh, you want to fine-tooth comb? We're gonna put 2800 as their door number. What does that mean? Figure it out. What do you think?
I don't know. That's
or
what I'm
1966 on the back of the car. Is that one of their comics? The first Vision comic? I don't know. Is that the year it came out? I don't know. Go check it out. You know what I'm
saying? I'm just gonna go along for the ride on this.
Me
one,
too.
I'm not gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah, because they put so much in this. Akil, you want to add anything?
What was I gonna add? Now in House of M, she got rid of the mutants. What if they introduced the mutants in this? Like maybe she does something that creates mutants in the world. Because she could create life. She brought in those two twins. In House of M in the book, those two twins were initially supposed to be used for demons. It was Mephisto, and somebody else wanted to inhibit their body. So maybe that might be the case here. Maybe Agnes, nosy neighbor, and somebody else is trying to use those twins' body to go into the real world.
I mean, pretty much anybody named Agnes has to be like slightly evil.
Got to be. Your name is
Yeah.
Can't be a good
Agnes
person,
is just,
Agnes.
Yeah,
like
Agnes
1930s name. She's even older than any episode that came out.
Yeah, you can't have the name Agnes and tell me that you're holy or something. It just no, you can't be.
I'd like to see that though. If she were to say they are mutants or something like that and create. But I've heard also because they used the gauntlet so many times on Earth or all of that radiation or whatever. I saw a theory where somebody was like that could create that X gene or whatever. So however they do it, I'm down.
Now's the time, man. Let's get the X-Men going. Now's the time, I think.
Yeah, and I think that Marvel would do the X-Men well too because it's all about family. The X-Men is all about this being a big group of people from all over the place who have one thing in common: we're mutants, and the society hates us, right? So
Black people, civil rights.
Exactly.
Right. So how does one group of mutants handle that? How does another group handle it? You got this one leader, you got another leader, and you got these smaller groups.
And the philosophies behind that. Yeah.
We're all fighting for the same thing, but we got our different ways of doing it. So I think Marvel will do a good job with that.
Yeah. I trust them. I trust Marvel. They just need to make these episodes longer, man. They got to stop putting the previously on and then a 10-minute credits. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's just to make sure that we salivate, bro. It's like, and I think after this episode especially, they got their money's worth because I haven't seen anybody that had complaints about episode 4.
Yeah, they knocked us out the park. Episode 3 too. They knocked both out the park.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to switch gears and jump into our review next? You guys have any time? Dan, you have enough time to jump into a review? You gotta go.
I got time.
Morgan,
what are we reviewing?
We're gonna review the new Denzel flick, man. The Little Things.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I'm in.
We're going to do spoiler free for a little bit, and then we're gonna jump into spoilers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's good.
You ready?
5-minute review, and then we'll get into the spoilers.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna drop the trailer here. For anybody's listening to the podcast, we're dropping the trailer for The Little Things.